Good evening. It is Monday, July 17th, 2023, 6:30 p.m. This is a Kearney Board of Aldermen meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, have you had a chance to take roll?
I have taken roll. Everybody is present. You have a quorum.
We'll move on to personal appearances. This evening we have the Kearney High School girls track team, our newest state champions, Kearney Bulldog state champions. We do have a proclamation here to present to the girls and allow their coach some opportunity to show some appreciation as well. Eric, if you could read the proposed proclamation, please.
Sure. A proclamation congratulating the 2023 Kearney High School Girls Class 4 State Champion Track Team. Whereas head coach Jeff Hutton and his assistant coaches led this amazing group of young women to the first ever Girls State Track Championship in Kearney High School history. And whereas Jaden Barnes, Jordan Vaughn, Leela Murphy, Caitlin Wood, Ava Lawless, Addie Davis, Allie Pogue, Anna Williams, Abby McQuillan, Olivia Brock, Alex Kinsler, Heidi Adams, Abby Elam, Lily McAuliffe, Kate Martins, Josie Master, Charlie Dollar, and Riley Van Emmerich competed this season and were part of the Kearney High School Girls Class 4 State Track Championship team. And whereas the Kearney Girls Track Team finished by placing first in the Suburban Blue Conference Championship held at Raytown South High School, first at the Staley High School District 8 Championship, first at the sectional meet at Warrensburg High School with the top 4 advancing to state, and finally placing first at the state meet held in Jefferson City, edging Pleasant Hill by 2 points to become the first ever girls track state championship team in Kearney High School history. And whereas Jaden Barnes, Jordan Vaughn, Leela Murphy, and Caitlin Wood were state champs in the 4x800 meter relay, Ava Lawless and Jaden Barnes were back-to-back state champs in the triple jump and 800 meter race respectively. Second place went to Ava Lawless in both the 100 meter high hurdles and long jump. Caitlin Wood, Leela Murphy, Addie Davis, and Jaden Barnes placed 5th in the 4x400 meter relay, and Allie Pogue placed 7th in the discus. And whereas the city of Kearney recognizes the first ever Missouri Class 4 state champion Kearney High School girls track team. Now therefore I, Randy Pogue, Mayor of Kearney, Missouri, do hereby honor and congratulate the Kearney High School girls track team, head coach Jeff Hutton, and assistants as state champions. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the city of Kearney, Missouri, this 17th day of July 2023. Mayor Randy Pogue.
Congratulations. Before I provide each athlete an original signed copy of the proclamation, Coach, do you have anything you'd like to share this evening?
Mayor Pogue, I think you summed up a lot of what I would have said tonight. I'm not laughing. This was an amazing group of girls. From day one, I believe that they all had the same mindset and what they wanted to try to do. 2 years ago, they placed 9th. Last year, they placed 3rd. They knew it was still getting better. And day by day, week by week, and meet by meet, they just stay focused on the task at hand. And I couldn't be more proud of a group of girls for keeping that focus over a 13-week season. And, you know, late afternoon, Saturday night coming home, I mean, it was just a feeling they all had. It was something that's hard to replicate, you know, seeing a group of girls actually reach the top. And I want to thank the coaching staff. We have a lot not here tonight. A few got a hold of me, said they couldn't make it. Coach Brad Kohlauer, Coach Rachel Daniels, Coach Mel White, Coach Scott Brawl, and Coach Chris Daniels, Heidi. We have what Scott and I would consider probably the best staff in the state. If not the best, we'll rival the best, okay? Yeah, every one of them had a contribution with this team. All these girls would tell you what contributions they had to help them reach that pinnacle there, on there. So, ladies, one more round of applause for you.
We can grab a photo off too, we appreciate it. So I have a original signed proclamation for each one of the lady student athletes and then one for the coaches as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I know she wants you to picture and she'll put it back in there.
Okay.
And one for the trophy.
All right, wonderful, thank you. Take your time, ladies.
Take your time.
Coaches, where do you want them?
Over here. Right over there. Yeah.
You and
Say, coach, you want to get a picture? Okay, well, I'll have a picture.
Can everybody see me? I'm good, I'm sorry. Thank you.
See you guys back next year.
Hang on, ladies.
I remember that the whole life. I'll talk about that in class reunion and everything else.
Unless you guys would like to stay for the rest of the meeting, now would be a good time for you to excuse yourself. We're going to talk about a lot of exciting stuff, but I assume I know why most of you are here. Yes. Congratulations. We'll move on to the next item, the consent agenda. Are there any questions or items of discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, can we entertain a motion to approve? All in favor? Opposed? Consent agenda passes. We'll move on to items for review and presentation. I believe we have our finance director, Ms. Kathy Harper, here for a monthly finance report.
Speak up.
All right, hey, I just wanted to give you just a quick update. The balances on here, these are unreconciled for this last month as they have been for the previous months. And everything is still according to budget. Nothing unusual in here. If you have any questions now or later, feel free to reach out to me.
Great. Thank you. We'll move on to mayor's communications. A couple items. I want to remind everybody that our next public pool planning meeting will be July 25th, 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Kearney High School again. Survey results are in, so it'll be an opportunity for the public to visit with staff, ask questions, get any questions answered, and go over the survey results. Next Spirit Committee meeting will be August 3rd at 6:30 p.m. It'll be hosted at the Holiday Inn here in Kearney off Watson Drive again. And the last item I have under mayor's discussions is at the dais this evening. We have a sample of 6 questions that potentially that we could use if the board would decide to move forward with a Polco survey regarding the resident request for the pit bull ban repeal. I know I did receive one email from a resident that watches our meetings online, and she had concerns using the survey software And she asked us to consider putting it straight to a vote. She was concerned that using the software itself would allow multiple people to vote, people from outside the community vote. I responded and let her know that the software is sophisticated and is compared to registered voter lists and city residents only, but I did want to make sure that her voice was heard there as well. Like I said, I don't care if we use, I have no preference, rather, if we use a Polco survey or would consider putting it to the ballot. So do you guys have any questions on the proposed Polco questions or any items of discussion on the topic?
I personally, I like the idea of the poll. My confidence level in a poll is not as high as our county to do an actual ballot. And considering that this is an issue that so many are passionate about, it's already come before the Board of Aldermen and been decided once, so we would be overturning that. So that alone does not give them much confidence in a decision that is made at this table. So a decision that is made at the polls, I think it's just very important. It will be official, it would be legitimate, it would be legal. I feel it would be more binding. And considering that this was started in 2020, I think that there are only 9 months until the April 2024 election. I think it would be appropriate to have it there. I did speak with Patty at the Clay County Election Board. Our costs for our April 2022 election this year was $3,500. She had originally estimated it at approximately $3,700. It came in cheaper than we thought. So to add a question to next year's April election will not raise that amount substantially. I think that a poll is a good idea, but it can be taken on so many different platforms and devices that there are too many potential opportunities for people that are not in the city limits, or to have more than one vote per person, or possibly they are not 18 or older. Anyway, no matter how many restrictions you put on it, it would not be as binding and as legitimate as an actual vote. So I think it would be better, because then no matter which side of this issue wins, we would go with it. I think it would be more legitimate, less possibility of being skewed, tampered, or manipulated with. That's just my personal opinion, but that's how I feel.
There's several other polls going on right now, and I've heard people complain that, all these polls, they don't like the polls, so I don't know if they're answering them or not. They were complaining they're getting too many polls. So that we get the right answers and the right people who, instead of not doing the polls because there's been all these other polls, if it's not much of a cost difference, I agree to put it on the April ballot.
Well, I mean, given the numbers that Alderman Spencer has put out, if we're already at $3,700 for the April ballot, and if we add another ballot question, we're not adding much to it. The only thing that concerns me is we're going to have most likely issues on the ballot for the pool, and there's there's gonna be those people out there that are anti-tax, anti-government. Does that skew that election because of what's on the ballot? I don't know. But, you know, with not having much additional cost, I'm fine going straight to the ballot if we want to do an April ballot. Do we know what the cost would be if we did a November?
The cost for November is much higher. It's probably not in our budget range. It could range up to $25,000 if we are the only people doing it. But after some discussion around our county, Kansas City is proposing something possibly. The city of Oakwood is also. So is Clay County. So, and the more people that are doing polling at that time, it lowers yours down exponentially.
The estimate that I was told was $10,000.
It could be as high as that. It would just depend. And you don't know who for sure is putting questions on, but they are talking about questions about the ballpark, questions about several things.
And the deadline for November would be August, so it would be a decision the board would have to make.
We're too late for the August, that was the end of May to get on the August ballot, but we have enough time. I believe August 29th is our cutoff.
It would be an August cutoff for the November ballot.
He's correct. So we're 9 months out. I think in 9 months, that would give the people that are interested in voting on this, if they aren't already a registered voter in our community, we might add to our voter polls, which could be a good thing.
So let me play devil's advocate a little bit. My understanding is that this poll would only be you could only participate if you are a current registered voter. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you'd have to set up an account with your zip code, email address, provide name, zip code, and then the poll company will verify that using the public voter registration records. So utilizing the same information that our poll workers do to verify voters would be. And so, and I've got a couple things to say, but I don't want to interrupt your time that I asked for.
No, that's fine. We could, more than one person from an address could vote because they would both be registered voters. So you could have 4 or 5 people from an address being able to vote just as they could vote in the election. How many, there's currently a poll going on right now?
2.
Is that true, Sweeney? And, okay. So do we run the risk of, the question is, to Alderman Holt's point, do we run the risk of survey fatigue? Because we definitely want as many people participating in this as possible.
Yeah, we usually get 7 to 10% of registered voters at any given time that respond to our elections. It's nothing. I mean, it's not a good turnout.
True. What kind of response are we getting from our surveys?
So right now we've had 619 people respond to our national community survey. We had, and those 6 of those were not residents. So they were outside. All of the rest were registered not registered voters, but people that live inside city limits. The pool survey had over 900, right?
About 1,600 people.
But that was people from the area.
City limits too.
I do know that we have 257 people that answered those surveys, our national community survey, that have subscribed to get information on future polls. I also have been reading about survey fatigue. So what causes survey fatigue is when somebody does a survey and then they don't report the results and they don't act on the information that they received, because people don't want to spend their time answering survey questions when it's just for a collection. It's not because you guys are actually going to use the information to make a decision. And so really, if people feel like you are giving the results and then acting on those results accordingly, people do not typically mind answering surveys.
So I would say I'm sort of indifferent as to how we get the information. I'm more interested that we allow everyone who wants to have a voice in this conversation, that have one. So I could support the poll. The answers would come quicker. I would just think that we'd probably not want to start the poll till maybe after the other two close, and make sure that it stayed open for an amount of time that we were sure that everyone had an opportunity to be notified, informed about the poll, and so that they could participate.
So I appreciate the four of you providing your thoughts. That's exactly what I wanted. Like I said, I think there's pros and cons of both the poll and the election. The poll can be open no longer. The election's a one-time shot, but there is obviously absentee opportunities for those that may be out of town. The only thing I'm going to close with on my mayor's communications is I want the board to think, why did this board approve a $12,000 expense for a software if we don't trust it, if we don't like it, if we don't want to use it? This board approved a $12,000 expense for a tool. Let's use it. So that concludes my mayor's remarks. We'll move on to the city administrator's report.
The only thing that I have is that the next regular board meeting will be Monday, August 7th at 6:30 p.m. Shirley was going to make an announcement, and Donnie was going to make an announcement also. Shirley?
Okay, we, as you know, have had the water software, web portal debacle. Today I ran, with their assistance, we ran the ACH, which is if you have recurring payment out of your bank, and that went through successful. There was a little bit of a glitch in credit card that they wanted to straighten out. Tomorrow morning, we're going to run the credit card recurring payments. And the web portal, they had up today, but it wasn't, they were working with it. I think no later than Wednesday morning, probably by tomorrow afternoon, the web portal will be up where customers can go and make payments. And I want to make it real clear, I want to send a mass email out when the web portal's up through the email saying that the web portal is up, and if anybody sees any issues or problems they think with their bill, to be sure to contact me and we'll work our way through those problems. But it's still a lot of work to do, but we have made some major progress. I worked over the weekend to test a lot of things and see where we're at. So I think we should be, by Wednesday, we should be good as far as the residents are concerned and be able to be back normal.
Appreciate all your work there.
Thank you.
I'm going to do a short update on a roundabout or interchange. I'll start with the Lexico project, which is the 19th Street and Nation Road. That's our roundabout. They should complete the north section of that by the end of this month, weather permitting. That always seems to kick us in the teeth right now with the rain we're getting, but they're supposed to have it open for traffic. Once all the concrete is poured, they have to wait 7 days at a minimum before traffic can be on it. And it's looking like they'll meet that towards the end of the month to have the north section of that ready to go. They're breaking up the south section into two separate, it's not a phase, it's just a section. They've got gravel down for the residents that are on the south side of the roundabout to get in and out. They're putting down right now base rock and stuff for a temporary road. And then they're going to break up that south section into two parts and work on those parts. And once they get to where they can run traffic on one side or the other, they'll open that up to traffic also. Looking probably in the fall sometime. It's a little early to give a rough idea, but they are cutting dirt right now on the south section of that. They're finishing up the concrete on the north section. On the interchange project, the bridge deck they're working on rails and stuff like that in the medians. It's predominantly done, the approaches are done. The next 2 weeks, they're gonna be working on asphalt on and off ramps. If the weather holds, and they're still looking at fall opening date for that for traffic. It won't be finished, but it will be open for traffic in the fall. And Brian with Clarkson would not give me a date because the weather's been.
Darn it.
Smart man.
Donnie, so back to the Lexico, the west side, so potentially, obviously, whether, if everything aligns perfectly, it looks like possibly that intersection, 144th and Nation, could be open the 1st of August-ish.
Yeah, I think that's really pushing it. I think they're looking fall. The first section, you mean?
Yeah, just right there where that roundabout
Yes,
is.
That's correct. Yes, the end of this month, first of next, the north section.
I get a lot of the county residents that live in Fox Run, and they're really curious when the intersection is going to be open.
Yeah, that's what they said, and they've been having rain issues because that last big rainstorm we had caught in the roundabout, actually caught water, and they pumped for water for 2 days, if you can believe that, so that they could pour concrete. So the weather definitely slows them down.
Well, I'll tell them you promise it'll be all good.
So Donnie, are they holding up the roundabout at Watson Drive until it's all done? Are they gonna open that up and just block off the interchange?
It's all part of the asphalt plan, and that's kind of, they're just doing it as they work through it, but they were starting with on and off ramps, and Brian said that they were gonna try to keep them here as much as they can, but they've got other projects, and he didn't know if that'd be possible or not, but he said he wants to keep them on site if at all possible, that way they can just keep it moving.
Yeah.
So.
That's the second one I get asked about. When's that gonna be open back up?
I get that asked more than anything. When's Watson Drive?
Well, will this crew be responsible for this Wilkerson fence post if we do go with that? Put that big hunk of cement in there?
I reached out to Mr. Wilkerson and asked him to give us a detailed plan of what he is requesting for the board's approval, and it all depends on timing. So he understands. I asked him to get it to us as soon as possible.
Okay, my understanding, spoke with me on Saturday, was that he was not going to, they had originally thought that maybe they'd do whirligigs or any number of things, and he said that no, he spoke with the family and they are in consensus. It will just be this corner fence post in the middle. They really liked the plan that was already in place with all the native wildflowers and the natural limestone. They think that it will complement this nicely, and so they have taken a step back that way.
I will reach out to him tomorrow and confirm that with him.
Please do.
Yes, and then I will bring it back to the board for their approval.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like we had a consensus, but I think a formal approval will be good.
Yes.
All right, does that conclude your report?
It does.
We'll move on to Alderman discussion. Alderman Spencer?
So many passionate subjects this evening, so sometimes you just have to think on all these things for a while before you come to these decisions.
Absolutely. Alderman Holt?
No, I'm good. I don't really have anything.
Okay. Alderman Lehman?
Don't think I have anything tonight.
Alderman Barker?
I have nothing to add.
All right, well, looks like I'm gonna make it to my second pickleball game tonight. Nothing else this evening. Can we entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? concludes our meeting. Everybody have a good night. Thank you.